Hello and welcome to the Terminator podcast. This one's going to be a little bit quicker than last one. Once again, we are just podding along. As you can see from the last video, which was done a month ago, not much has changed. And in actual fact, we haven't actually got a lot. The majority of the stuff we've had done around here, as you can see, and stuff like that. I'm hoping by next month, by the next podcast, we'll have a leg. A few things I want to just point out that in issue 52, so we'll now be doing this a whole year. I'm really impressed how far we've come in a year. There's still a lot of work to do. 120 issues, so there's still a lot to do. So we don't need to keep rushing this. There was a few things. Firstly, we had a piston that was plastic. I was a little bit disappointed in that piston. But the magazine said it goes here, just here. Actually, it's a piston that fits on this leg just here. That's over there on the desk, but I'll leave it there. And the piston we get next time, which is the little ball, obviously sits just in here, and it goes up there. So this one will be attached. So that's quite good. But yeah, within a year, I think this is very impressive. Someone was asking about the skull, because they wanted just the head. I don't think we're getting the skull bit. It's going to be near enough the last sort of thing. We're very much concentrating on the legs. So we'll have the legs, then the other hand, and bulk out before any of this gets touched. Even the base, I reckon. Probably to stop people cherry picking like that. But I am really impressed, like I said, with how it is, and it moves really well, and it feels very sturdy. Like I said, I'm just going to put him down because he's actually really heavy. I was a little bit disappointed that the piston that we got was plastic, but I kind of understand why it was plastic. Just hope a lot of the other parts for the leg aren't, but I mean, like you just see me, I had to put it down. It's very heavy already. With the legs on it, that would be pulling a lot on the pelvis area. So there's a lot of weight being pulled down. Thus, the inner mechanism of the pelvis is metal, and the spine, but it's still going to create a lot of downforce, especially lifting it like I just did. Now, obviously, it will be supported on the base, so that will alleviate a lot of the pressure that it will take. But I can understand why it's plastic. I want to bring up the plastic and metal dispute because a lot of people are saying that there's a lot of plastic, or this is not what it was advertised. Actually, it wasn't. It's how you perceive it. Now, it was said that it was the T800. It says ABS plastic, ABC or ABS plastic, and it says die-cast parts. Now, I've said this many, many times in a lot of my videos, for the Root Master and for the Terminator. Now, when it says die-cast parts, that could just mean the screws. The screws are made of die-cast or metal, and that's all it needs to include those words. It doesn't say all parts. It said die-cast parts, meaning it needs to have some sort of metal parts, which are the screws. And it has got metal parts. It seems to have a metal framework, which is similar to things like R2 here and the Millennium Falcon. In fact, a lot of those sort of builds have a metal or a die-cast framework and plastic on the outside, minus the dome on R2 here. The bus is the same as well. If you've been watching me doing the Root Master, you'll know that the frame and the inner side sections are metal, and I think the outer bits are very thin. I was very surprised by that, because I would have expected that to be a form of plastic, but it's not. It's actually metal, which is nice. But yeah, I just want to clarify that it always originally said die-cast parts. It was never fully die-cast. Anyone thinking it was fully die-cast, you've just misread. That's all I can say about that, because it says on all of these builds, it says die-cast parts. And like I said, in order for them to have that die-cast parts on there, it really only needs to have one die-cast piece. A piston, a hand, even the head can just be die-cast. The rest of it could have been plastic. So I just want to point that out, because I know a lot of people have been saying, there's too much plastic, there's too much this. It was never advertised as having that. I also want to point out that the sideshow replicas that they do, the life-size sideshow replicas, are plastic. They're not die-cast. I do believe the Hot Toy version is also plastic and not die-cast. So I think this will be a proper 1:2 scale Terminator. I think it will have a lot more metal than any other figure that has come out that you can get. But yeah, ultimately that's what it is. Like I said, these companies don't have to explain to you why. They just have to say it's got a die-cast piece. Even the chest section could just be die-cast and the rest could be plastic. They don't have to specifically say the whole thing is plastic or the whole thing is metal or die-cast. If they did, they would have to do that. But because they say with high quality plastic and die-cast pieces, so always remember that. You can even check that out on the advert that they produced on the TV and through all the promotional material they did for it as well. None of it says fully die-cast. It says die-cast pieces. It's up to us to then interpret that. So what does that actually mean? Like I said, it means anything. Any part on that could be plastic and any part on that could be metal. So we need to sort of just take a step back and say, okay, well, you know, this is not going to be all die-cast, and accept that the figure that we're going to get is going to be, the majority of it is probably going to be plastic. The only problem with that is the shine, and I'm just going to show you that right now. So we have the silver here. As you can see, it's nice and shiny and plastic, so you can automatically see, even in the different colours there. The problem is with the silver on the plastic, it's a very dull colour. It is still shiny, but you can very much tell the difference between what is die-cast and what isn't. And that's the only gripe I really have. Like I said, this is going to be absolutely amazing when it's done and built. I'm going to be very happy with it. Whether the rest turns out to be plastic, I don't care. I think it's really nice and very well put together, very well made, very sturdy. So I'm really happy with that. So what's coming up in the next couple of issues? Well, we used to do a preview. We used to be able to get the next 4 issues previewed, ready, so I could do it on the podcast. I've done it on the YouTube channel. But I used to be able to get them from the Hachette website. The website's been down since the move. I'm hoping it's back up in March. So maybe in March we'll find out what's coming up. But if anyone watches or follows me on Facebook, on our Facebook page, you can click here to find out. Follow us. You'll notice that about 3 weeks ago I posted a post that someone sent me. They was sent the wrong issue. Issue 54. So in issue 54 we get a thigh, the metal thigh, just the thigh piece. I'm expecting it to be about that size, so a fairly big bit. I'm also expecting it to be die-cast, but as I've just said, it doesn't matter if it's plastic, but I'm expecting it to be die-cast. If it turns out it's plastic, it turns out it's plastic, it doesn't matter. But that is due in issue 54, so that just indicates that the next couple of issues, at least the next possibly 6 or 7 issues, probably even 10, that we are now concentrating on the right leg. So it looks like we've done the right arm, now we're doing the right leg. So I'm hoping after that we then turn the attention to the left arm, the left side of the pelvis, and then the left leg. But we could get the base after that. We don't know. And like I said, it's good to speculate. So I'm speculating over the next 6 issues, we will probably end up building the leg and the foot. That may take up to even more than 6, probably about 10 issues, I'm expecting. So roughly about 10 actually. Let's scrap the 6. I'm roughly about 10 issues we'll build the leg. There's 2 pistons at the top. There's ones in the calf as well. Then you've got the foot. So it'll be interesting to see how they go about that, and if we get the floppy feet or toes in that. That'll be interesting to see. But I think in the next couple of issues, it's definitely concentrating on leg. We know from issue 52 and issue 53, we know in issue 53 we get a piston for the pelvis, which I just explained, and we also get the leg covering as well, which goes on there. So that's quite good. So all in all, it's really good. I'm really happy with the build. Once again, if you have any problems whatsoever, your first point of call is to message them on Facebook. Now, if you're obviously watching this, you're watching this on Facebook anyway. So go over to the Hachette Facebook page. They have a dedicated T800 Facebook page. So go on there and ask them for the floppy finger things or any question you like. Now, I've said to you before, they do respond back. They are slow. It can sometimes take them 4 or 5 days, probably a week even, to get back. So they're not instant. If you don't get a response within, I would say 5 days, just keep messaging the same message over and over and over and over and over. They eventually will pick it and they will contact us back. It's the fastest way I know of contacting them. Ringing them up doesn't really do it. It's just a customer service number, and you probably know more than they do at the end of the phone because they're outsourced. The email, I've never really had any joy with the email in responding back. So I will say to the Facebook, go to Facebook and get your messages there. Like I said, if people are still having problems with getting the finger fix, I know some people have been getting still getting issue 41, which was included in issue 41. I get mine from the newsagents and it was in there, issue 41. But I've noticed that a lot of subscribers are getting issue 41 and not getting the finger fixed or the parts. The best bit to that is to contact them through Facebook and explain to them what's happened. They will send them out. They're pretty quick at doing stuff like that. But yeah, that should always be your first point of call. It shouldn't be any Facebook page. It should be their own Hachette Facebook page messenger. Keep it on your messenger and message them all the problems. A lot of the Facebook pages are fan run, group run, so they don't really have any affiliation with Hachette. So that's worth noting. So there's that part of it. I also noticed a lot of people are still worried about the how long subscriptions are taking. Once again, we're still in March yet. They said that the warehouse move is going to create problems. You will still get your issues, but they'll be a lot later, and they're hoping by March everything to be up to speed. So by the end of March, you should have your subscriptions normal, or coming to you a lot normally than they are now. But they should still be coming through. So don't worry. So I know the last lot, and I see some people have already had the money taken. That's normally after 2 weeks or a week after they've been delivered. Don't worry, you will still get your issues. They're just taking a little bit longer. Anyway, that is it for us here at the podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And remember to go up here where it says the Nexus. Click on that, like the page. Go over to the Nexus community group page. You can post on there all what you want. Pictures, gossip, anything. Go over there, join it, and start the conversation. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.